Hello, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. It's again Shipyard Champions. Today's challenge is, well, it includes transports. We're gonna have 5 transports on each side, and the year is gonna be 1918. Starting range will be 7,000 actually. And fleet composition will be, well, let me see here. Players' ships, 1 heavy cruiser, max 19 knots, highest tier main tower not allowed. 2 light cruisers, or 1 light cruiser and 2 destroyers. So that's 1 heavy cruiser and 2 light cruisers, or 1 heavy cruiser and 1 light cruiser and 2 DDs, as I understand it. I'm gonna go with the 2 light cruisers. AI ships will be 1 heavy cruiser, 3 light cruisers, 3 DDs, or 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and 1 DD. I'm gonna go with 1 heavy, 3 light, and 3 DD for the enemy. And 3 DDs. So 1, 3, 3. Yes, that's correct. And I will go with 1 and 2. Let me double check. Yeah, that's right. And 5 convoy ships for either side. Technology year 1918, unlock is allowed. Engagement range 7 kilometers, weather clear, daytime. Point system will be plus half a point for each warship sunk, plus 1 point for each convoy ship sunk, and another half a point for each convoy ship you manage to make surrender. So 1.5 in total per convoy ship if I make them surrender instead of kill them. And there's -1 for each convoy ship lost, -1 for the loss of a DD or light cruiser, -2 for loss of the heavy cruiser. Win condition, all your convoys, all the AI convoy ships are sunk. 2 hours have passed on the battle timer. And let's see, tiebreaker will be clears the hostile convoy with the fewest losses wins. Okay, so who am I gonna play and who will I play against? I actually want to play against the US because they have very bad heavy cruisers in 1918. And I think I want to play as the Soviet Union because they get decent heavy cruisers and decent light cruisers. Shared designs will be off, weather clear, day. Unlock on, I've never actually ticked that before, so I don't know what it's gonna do. So armored cruiser, we can build on this. That looks kind of cool. Nah. I think we're gonna build on this. Yeah, this will be our cruiser hull. Max size is not amazing. Speed will be capped at 19 knots. I'm gonna reduce the range as well. Training will be veterans. Highest tier main tower not allowed. So this will be our main tower. Actually, let's see what the Italians have. Because I know they also okay. They also get that light cruiser hull that I kind of like, but they get a better heavy cruiser hull. 19 knots top speed. Reduce the range. Standard. Yes. And for the light cruiser, yeah, they do get the scout cruiser hull. That's good, because we're gonna need 2 of those. So for the heavy cruiser, not allowed. This one is allowed. This is gonna be quite the punchy little. Okay, yeah, because it's so slow, I don't really need a lot of funnels on this boat. That's enough. That's also enough. Yeah. You know, if I'm capped to 19 knots, that's of course that's not very fast, but it does open up a lot of you know, deck space, because I don't need a lot of funnels, and it also saves quite a bit of weight. So I'm just gonna check. In the campaign, I was building cruisers like this, the speed of 25 knots. That's quite the jump in weight, and of course, funnel requirements. I'm gonna go with a couple of barbettes, main guns. We're gonna go big. They're all gonna be Mark III. Or will they? Yeah, Mark III. Mark III, Mark III. So, if we can't have speed, we're gonna have firepower, that's for sure. And we're gonna have quite a bit of armor. Because this boat will have to basically solo the entire enemy escort. And I will try and leave the sinking of the convoy ships up to the light cruisers. Crop 4. Barbettes, anti-torp. They do have some DDs. Double bottom. Citadel 4. Enhanced reloading. Coincidence 4. Don't need that, I think. How much does it? Nah, it doesn't weigh a lot. I might need it if I have to go chasing after convoys, transport ships. I might need more ammo. Let's see, that's... Okay, that doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Tube powder, TNT2. It should hopefully not explode now. Cat ballistic to punch through the enemy heavy cruiser hull. And we're actually gonna go soft cap. What kind of HE pen do I get? Just gonna see. If they are max armored light cruisers with 6 inches of armor at plus 142%, the HE shells are really not gonna punch through. But I do want them to punch through and sink the DDs. So, like that. Do I want to go increased AP? We can go standard ratio on the secondaries. Now, secondaries. Let's slap on some 5-inch casemates. Actually, might have to take those off because we also need some armor. That might be more armor than I need. I probably don't need a whole lot of deck armor because we're starting so close. Aft deck and foredeck is fine. Superstructure will probably need some armor. Turret armor is actually more than it needs to be. I'm not sure what kind of main guns the AI made heavy cruiser is gonna have, but it's probably not huge. The AI tends to go light on that kind of stuff. Like so. It's enough armor. Casemate armor is... it's fine. Now let's balance it out and see if maybe we can even add some more secondary guns. Actually, I do want to give it 2 funnels, just for redundancy. So a bit of a 4-weight offset, not much. Yeah, it's not much of an offset. Yeah, that's pretty much perfect. Secondary guns. They're all Mark 3s. See, these are 59s. That is decent range. Let's make them 60, because it's a nicer number. Reload time 51 seconds. Oh, it's okay. They're 11-inch guns. The 4-inch guns, I I should make the 5-inch guns a bit longer. 45s. Give them more range, more accuracy. And the 4-inch guns need to be... Oh. I was about to say they need to be a little bit bigger so I can put armor on them. Now what do I reduce? I can remove the RDF. I probably won't need it, but I do need the 4-inch guns to be just big enough that I can put some armor on the turrets. So they don't just die to high explosive spam. Okay, that's good enough for my heavy cruiser singular. Spacious quarter, I'll go with standard. Or actually, I do probably need, because I imagine this is just gonna take a lot of fire. So I probably do need that those spacious quarters. If I go down to standard length, there we go. On those guns. Yeah. That's fine, that's fine. That is my heavy cruiser. Now let's make the light cruiser. Yeah. Just making sure that's the same ship. Light cruiser had no real requirements. Let me just double check that. No. I'm free to make whatever, it seems. Oh yeah, it's one of those. I have to find the magic. I think 32 knots. That's the magic limit. Let's go with spacious on this as well, which I typically don't do. So here I could pick the best tower. I didn't say I couldn't. So I'm gonna need 3 funnels anyway. Might as well go with the smallest one that actually fits in a lot of places. I mean, yeah, technically like if I get less than 100% engine efficiency, it's not as if it's a big disaster or anything. But I like to get it right. How big are the guns I can fit? Oh, I can get double guns on this. Do I want to go double 7s or double 6s? want to try 7s. Okay, I need different barbettes. Yeah, that works, I think. So this is going to be quite the heavily armed light cruiser, because it's going to have to help me take out those escort ships. It doesn't leave me with quite a bit of displacement left, which is great. Man, I needed to be able to dodge torpedoes. Flash fire chance 15.5%. If I go with tube powder and TNT2, well, it's basically nothing. Very good, very good. Standard ratio, standard ratio. And I do like my soft-capped HE shells, because they do funny things to DDs, because they can actually punch through the armor. 1.4 at 7. 1.8 at 5,000 meters. 2 inches at 5,000 meters. That should be enough. Unless the enemy DDs have 1.5 millimeters all over, and with the armor quality, then that's gonna be not quite enough. But what I like about the capped ballistic and soft capped HE shells is that when they do penetrate, which they will, a DD, they also cause flooding, which is going to slow it down, make it easier to kill. Whereas something like high capacity will do a lot of damage, but often not cause any flooding. And this will need its turrets to spin around quickly. Hydro. These might need the RDF if they have to go chasing after the convoy. Armor. Turret armor is okay. 2 inches on the main deck, 1 on the fore and aft, 2 on the superstructure. Can I go 6 on the fore and aft belts? I can. And add some Citadel decks as well. These are 42s. I might want them to have a little bit more range. 44. Which also aids with accuracy and penetration. Okay, I've got my basics for my light cruiser now. And I have a lot of displacement left over. So what I do need is secondary guns. Because these 7-inch guns, they're just gonna blow transport ships out of the water. Which is not ideal. Because remember, if I can make the transport ships surrender instead of just blowing them up, I get more points. So the plan is, when I do sink the escorts, can I fit another turret back here? Why, yes, I can. So why not? Why not? Yeah, when I do sink the escorts, or while I'm sinking them, I can keep my main guns on the escorts and have secondaries just rake the transports. or you know, after the escorts are sunk, just cease fire on all main guns and have these move in to blast the enemy with 2-inch guns. Oh, these are casemates. My bad, my bad. Single barrels. They seem to fit in a lot of places. Well, they would. If there were not lifeboats. Very annoyingly mounted. Oh, there we go. Let's widen the beam a bit. Let's see if that gives me more room. Just move the funnels around, see if I can fit some of these 2-inch guns. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Come on, fit. Yeah, I had it. There we go. Yeah, not a lot of room for 2-inch guns on this. Less than I suspected, but we can fit some casemates. Like so. Oh, we have a 4-weight offset. That's like whatever. It's not a big 4-weight offset. I think it's fine. It's probably fine. Can I actually fit a double 2-inch here? No? No? Okay. We're gonna go with singles. That should still do some fun stuff to a transport ship. I got leftover displacement. Shaft 2 is the best I got. Auxiliary 3 is the best I've got. Sure, let's throw in some armor. Oh yeah, main deck armor. That reduces pitch and roll. Ship is overweight, but it did somewhat reduce my pitch and roll. So that's fine. Right. Yeah, I think we are ready. 2 of these and 1 of the heavies against whatever the AI decides to bring. Okay, I thought this was 1918. I didn't think they had that cruiser hull in 1918. Okay. Well, that makes things a bit challenging. Maybe that's because, well, we are playing on These are not my ships. Almost, but not. Hang on. Shared assigns were supposed to be off. I thought I had them off. Okay. Unlock is allowed. Well, I'm not gonna tick it, because I don't think I need it. Instead it was allowed, not that I had to be have it on. So let's try again. Hopefully without any shared assigned ships just making their way. There we go, building heavy cruiser. Because what I think happened was sometimes when you have shared assigns on, the designer will pull in ships from other years. So even if you're playing a 1918 battle, it might decide to pull in a 1920 heavy cruiser. Yeah, that looks more like it. And I think what happened was it pulled in the shared assign heavy cruiser I made to fight Brother Monroe in a previous episode of Shipyard Champions. So I think that's why they suddenly had the kind of modern heavy cruiser. Yeah, this is more like it. These are my ships. And the squadron leader. I want to have these detach and quickly move in with their smoke to shield my convoy while it gets away. I think that was quite a good plan. Use the smoke as a shield like that. There we go. Scoring some pens and some engine damage on something. It is a DD. They really are coming for my transports. Don't seem to focus on defending their own wherever that convoy may be. Which I've now lost sight of. But we're gonna have to fight off the enemy warships first, I think. Then go find the convoy. Which is, well, it's a good thing I put RDF on my light cruisers. If we're gonna have to go play hide and seek. That's the heavy cruiser. Keep the main guns on that. There's a DD. Now keep the main guns on the heavy cruiser guy. Salem has taken quite a bit of fire from the 11-inch guns on the Zara. Oh my god. Freaking transports. Why can't you just make a beeline for the edge of the map? Instead of getting in my way like this. Wow. Not follow. Like this. Main guns. So, yeah, main guns on that. Secondaries on the DD. Shouldn't be that hard. Out of torpedoes, out of torpedoes. Now my transports are taking fire. Radar damage. Excuse me. I'm gonna take some torpedoes here, yeah. And you're gonna take one too because I was inattentive. You're gonna ram me? Torpedo detonation. Very nice. Now St. Louis has torpedoes and has launched. That's 3 torpedo hits on Zara. But I think she can remain afloat. She can just sink St. Louis. No, Zara went down. So I need to sink these 2 light cruisers. And then worry about the DDs. I think maybe 10-inch guns on my heavy cruiser would have been better. Or actually, what would have been better was if I'd picked the option of giving the AI 2 heavy cruisers and fewer DDs and light cruisers. Portsmouth. Is that the final flooding hit? Now, Regione, you can start going for the enemy convoy, wherever it may be. Guess we first have to sink these two DDs. Otherwise, the RDF is just going to point towards them. Portsmouth went down. Let's see, flooding on Morris. So far we lost one heavy cruiser and one transport. That's not great. Although the transports kind of have themselves to blame, because they were doing the little move around in a circle thing. Trying to get their formation straightened out. There we go. That should be one dead DD very soon. Now, Regione, you can now go hunting transports. And now we're gonna turn the main guns off. And we're gonna let the 2-inch guns do the talking once we actually find the convoy. And we're getting closer. 2 hours was the maximum time allowed. We've got 43 minutes left. I don't think the convoy could have gotten far, because they are quite slow. Well, 12.6. Mine were actually quite fast for transport ships. You usually have a top speed of around 11 knots. There we go. The convoy has been spotted. Good thing the Regione is basically undamaged, so she has all her 2-inch guns remaining. My merchants were unarmed. I'm assuming the enemy merchants are also unarmed. Don't flood it out. Surrendered, yes. So 1 surrender. One more surrender. Three surrendered. So my plan with the 2-inch guns, at least that worked perfectly. 145. 4 of them surrendered. Can we surrender the 5th one too? Because apparently the enemy convoy was carrying valuable cargo. And there we go. All 5 surrendered. That's 1.5 points for each. So that's, let me see here. Plus half a point for each warship sunk. So that's 3.5 points for the enemy warships sunk, and 7.5 for the enemy convoy. That should be 11 points in total. -1 for the loss of the transport, and -2 for losing the heavy cruiser. So that's 8 points in total. Okay. And the battle timer was at like 8:20 something. Yeah. It was that was an attempt. Not perfect. Torpedo spam did get to my heavy cruiser eventually. I mean, 80 million for a 1918 light cruiser. That's pretty pretty good. They were fast too, and with 80 million with cadet crews even. Probably that expensive because they were so fast. Yeah, big light cruisers too. Yeah, their heavy cruiser was useless. That was also part of my plan to pick United States as my my enemy, because those up until 1920, when they get that first really heavy cruiser hull, like all they have is like this really like early 1900s trash. But as it turns out, their light cruisers were quite good, so that kind of threw a wrench into my plan. They were the ones doing the damage, not the not their DDs. So yeah, 8 points. Might be very it might be very possible that someone can beat that score, as there were yeah, 11 would have been the maximum if I hadn't lost that transport and the heavy cruiser. So yeah, goodbye and take care.